Achieving success is a habit. When you're thinking about a goal you'd like to achieve, you probably have someone in mind who has already achieved that type of a goal or something very similar. And as you start thinking about your goal, you start thinking things like, well, how can I do that? And quite often what happens, a little voice at the back of your head starts adding its own commentary. Things like, I don't know how to begin. I don't know what I was thinking. I can't possibly do that. I don't have the background or the skills or the experience that they do. What if I told you that there is a formula for success? It is very simple and it's rock solid. Does not matter what industry you are in, doesn't matter what goal you're working on. The formula is event plus response equals outcome. The basic idea is that every outcome you experience, whether that's wealth or poverty, success or failure, health or illness, intimacy or estrangement, joy or frustration, all of those outcomes are a direct result of how you have responded to an event earlier in your life. If you don't like the outcomes you're currently experiencing, you have two choices. Choice number one, you can blame the event for your lack of results. You can blame the economy or the supply chain or politics or the weather, lack of money, your education or lack of it, racism, gender bias, your parents, your boss, your spouse. There are no limits to all of the different reasons you can point to that are external factors. There's no doubt that these factors exist, they're real, but if they were the deciding factor, then no one would be able to succeed. For every reason why it's not possible, there are hundreds of people who have overcome those same exact factors, those same exact unfortunate circumstances, and have succeeded. Lots of people overcome these factors or circumstances, so it can't be those limiting factors that hold you back. It's not the external conditions or circumstances that hold you back. You do. You're stopping yourself. How is that possible? By thinking negative thoughts, by ignoring helpful feedback, by failing to continuously educate yourself, by wasting time, by failing to invest in your future, by avoiding conflict, by not asking what it is you truly want, and then wondering why your life isn't working out for you. The other choice you can make, choice number two, you can instead simply change your responses to the events or the way things are until you get the outcomes you want. You can change your thinking. You can change how you communicate with others. You can change your choices. You can change what you do. You can change your habits. That is all you really have control over anyway. Unfortunately, most of us are run by habits that don't serve us well. We get stuck in our conditioned responses or habits. Here's a great example of how your choices of how you respond to something could lead to you actually achieving your result that you want or holding you back. Here's the example. Several years ago, there was a big earthquake that impacted the LA area in California. And for days after the event, traffic was a problem. Well, traffic is always a problem in California, but it was specifically a problem for this particular highway, where a normal commute into the city was typically about an hour, but because of the damage to the highway, now the typical commute was taking 2 to 3 hours or more. A reporter was working this story and was at the highway, walking up and down, talking to drivers who were stuck in stop-still traffic. One driver's response when asked, "How are you doing with all this?" was, this is horrible. First it was the fires, then it was the floods, then an earthquake. It couldn't possibly get any worse than this. I hate the traffic. It's just awful. The reporter went to the next car, knocked on the window, and asked the same question. "How are you doing with all this?" The response was completely different. This driver said, "It is what it is. I left my house 2 hours earlier than usual this morning because I knew it was going to take an extra long time to get to work. But I have lots of music, I've got podcasts I can listen to, I even brought a book. I have coffee, I have snacks, I'm prepared." it's going to be fine. If the event, the traffic in this case, were the defining and deciding factor of the outcome, everyone would have been angry, but not everyone was. It was their individual response to the event or the traffic that gave them their outcome or their results. It was the difference between thinking negative thoughts or positive ones. It was leaving the house unprepared or leaving prepared. That was what made the difference between their two outcome experiences. Everything you experience today is the direct result of how you chose to respond to an event earlier. You have control over only 3 things in your life: the thoughts you think, the images you visualize, and the actions you take, your behaviors. How you use these 3 things determines your results. If you don't like what you're producing or experiencing, you have to change how you're responding. You have to change your habits. If you keep on doing what you've always done, you'll keep on getting what you've always got. The formula is simple. Event plus response equals outcome. The change you have to make is your habits, how you respond. Choosing the habits that lead to your success is the key. For more tips like this, like us and follow us on Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, LinkedIn, and wherever you listen to your favorite podcasts. Just search for Retail Level Up. Be sure to visit our website, retaillevelup.com, and sign up to get our email newsletters. We send Monday Motivation and Top Tip Tuesday because we all can use a little extra motivation right now, and we can certainly use some top tips because now, even more than ever, it's time to level up.